Good morning. Today we're going to talk about the dataset configuration inside SIMBYM. So when you are in SIMBYM, the dataset page is accessible from the menu under Setup or Settings. When you start a dataset configuration, it is always a good idea to check if the data set already exists by doing a search for it. And if it's there already, then you can just edit. In this case, I'm going to edit the encounter database just so I can show you what the different fields are that needs to be configured for a new data set. So first thing is you give the data set a name. The ID is auto-generated, so you don't have to worry about it. Give the data set a name, and then you have to choose a category. If you remember from our page structure, we have a work module or a Servizo module. We have these modules that have different data sets inside them. So this is where you choose the category of the data set that are displayed over there. The master data set is basically a setup data set. It's an independent data set that sits by itself. A Servizo data set is a data set that you can attach to the Servizo module to create different Servizo types or support types. Um, the workflow data set again is a data set that you attach to work to create different work types. This is the anchor to any work type, and you will be able to search across the fields in this data set to bring up different instances of the same work type. The work data set is a data set that is a workflow item data set or a work step data set that is also attached to a work type in the work module. And there is different types of data sets that you can use here. The master data set, the Servizo data set, and the workflow data set are always of the type discrete, which we will talk about in the next section. Now, the different types of data sets that we have is a discrete data set, a list data set, template data set is a future use item, table data set, survey list, and tree list. We will go through each of these in the next few sections here. A discrete data set contains one row of data or is allowed to contain only one row of data for each instance of the work type. And it's displayed similar to what you're seeing here on the screen. You can have cards in it, and you have different fields, different type of fields, and there are rules that you can implement on these with behavior, screen behavior, etc. also. Now, the next data set type is a list data set type. Now, list data set allows multiple rows to be added to the data set for the work type. Now, each row is displayed as a separate discrete data, similar to how a discrete data set is displayed. So you can edit multiple ones of these so that they appear one below the other and you move forward. Okay. Now, the next is a table list data set, and it's displayed as you can see similar to a table, and you can you can have multiple rows for this data set, and you can create a new one or edit, etc. The next data set is a survey list data set. This is similar to a table list data set, except it should contain a survey list of values field. We'll talk about what those fields are in the field configuration that allows you to create predefined values for one of the fields so that you can guide your users to go ahead and enter data for the rest of the fields. This is particularly useful when you're doing a survey, or in the case of, let's say, you have multiple documents you want to collect at a specific step, and each of those documents could be pre-filled, and then people can upload the document or add additional metadata to the document on this type of a data set. And the last data set obviously is a tree list. That is pretty self-explanatory. It is similar to a table list, except it is hierarchical in the sense that you can add child and siblings to each of the rows. So it is a multi-row data set as well. Now, going to the next section, this is where the authorization security is enforced against the dataset. So you have a create, read, and edit privileges that you can set. If you don't set anything, that is available to everybody that has access to that specific module. There is security at the module level. So even if this is left open, only the people who have access to that module uh, or that specific module type. When I say module type, it's either a support or servizo type or a work type access. So there's this additional security that prevents people from coming in here. And then moving on to the next field, which is a P key field. Um, the P key is a partition key, and that's used in scalability. Typically, when you select the dataset category, we will automatically fill in a P key. You should leave it at default because it affects scalability of your system and performance quite a bit. We've already optimized it for performance, and you shouldn't have to change that. Um, and also you can get into trouble if you don't know how to configure this. So that's something that's a system configured or system defaulted value. Unless you are an expert or you're working with our technical team, you should not be touching that field. Um, the display name is pretty self-explanatory. So whenever a data set is displayed on a screen, this is the name that will get displayed, so that you don't have cryptic name if you use cryptic names on your data set for the data set name. And obviously, the active flag is whether this data set is active or not. And then the last field is the other info. The other info is a advanced setup. And typically, we would say that you should work with our SIMBYM developers unless you're an experienced SIMBYM developer or configurator yourself. Then you could use it. It's used to do triggers after a save, etc. So we'll not get into this as part of this configuration section here. And that concludes our dataset configuration video. We will be doing the data fields video next, and the data fields configuration is available in the same page as the dataset. It's below this, so that when you edit a data set, you are also able to edit the data field, and all of the fields that are in that data set.